At this Miami-Dade County Recreation and Tourism Committee meeting, December 8, 2025, Commissioner René García, the committee chair, demonstrated his commitment to transparency by demanding clear answers regarding budgets and public funds. Garcia directly confronted Roy Coley, Chief Utilities and Regulatory Services Officer, Christina White, Director of Parks, Recreation and Open Spaces, and Namra Opal, Director of Strategic Acquisitions, who answered questions about contract extensions and costs. He called the delays in publishing budget information since September completely unacceptable, comparing it to the efficiency of the state legislature, and demanded data accessible to all. Strong leadership against opacity.
We've asked for the CIP funding.
Right.
I think it's important for us. Madam Director, can you please help us address some of the issues? Because obviously there was funding that was taken or cut from some of these projects and moved elsewhere or prioritized some way different. And myself, I sent out a memo to the mayor's office asking for the different funding levels, what was been funded and not funded. You know the memo.
Yes.
When can we expect an answer to that memo to see where we are?
Well, first of all, good afternoon. Christina White, PRO's director, and I am aware of your request, and we are working on pulling that information together for you. Now, to your comment, Commissioner Regalado, at this moment, that is planned to be a passive park. Okay. We will have to inherit the maintenance on it. Sure, that is, one of the additional burdens of taking on additional land, but it is already, the capital improvements have been made by the developer, and we're planning to put some trees and some benches and keep it as a passive park for right now.
Okay, that was my only concern, because we talk about, the data that, that the chair is asking for, but similar to what happens to us with the budget, this happens item by item. So as long as we know that this item is not going to have a fiscal impact beyond the maintenance, I wish the maintenance was on here. What do we know? What's the maintenance?
It's going to be at least $40,000 a year is what we're estimating.
Okay. Yeah, right. So 40,000. Just as long as that's just the mowing the grass, and you're going to add some benches. You're going to have right. So so just so that we're aware that now we're adding that. And look, I love it. I think it's great. I think that unincorporated areas, need more. We all agree. But for those of us who also represent municipalities, one of the things that we do is we give these little parks to the municipalities because we do not want to be responsible for them. So that is a practice, right? Because we have the regional parks that really require a lot more attention. So just as long as we're all on the same page and we understand that this is $40,000, moving forward, and that's kind of where we're at, because I think at some point, Mr. Chairman, we have to have a conversation about the impact fees. I could tell you that I've been working on my regional parks, and I know that Steinberg has done the same, kind of looking at what's happening there and if it really works. And I'll give you a perfect example. We've been talking about parking at one of my parks. Once upon a time, if a parking fee wasn't paid, it went to the clerk, and the clerk was part of the system. That is not the situation today, right? So I think a lot of the vehicles that were created may not necessarily be bringing the best funding for our parks at this moment, depending on the park. So I really think, unfortunately, it's a very time-consuming park-by-park analysis, which Christina has been very patient about. But I'm looking one by one at what I can do in every single one that's different, that will bring in the type of revenue that it needs to be as self-sustaining as possible. And for those that have capital needs, what we can do, to meet those needs or to put a pin in it until we figure it out. So I'm happy to move the item, as long as we're all on the same page that it's a passive park. Thank you.
Listen, and I agree with you. I think it's important to have this conversation. So the $40,000 a year, where's that going to come from?
It'll come from the department's general fund. So yes, I do agree that this is something that we need to be paying special attention to as our portfolio grows and operating budget continues to decrease as it did in this last budget cycle. It's one of our external stresses. So, but for now, I think we're okay with the 40,000, but little by little, it does add up.
Right.
Thank you. And I do want to go back to, you said that you're working on that memo, to answer that memo. What is the time frame? Because we asked for this memo on November 7th. And this is information that should be readily available to the administration. And as a county commissioner and as chairman of parks, I can't get this information, which is pretty much budgeted, should be readily there at your fingertips. What is the holdup, and why can't I get that information? Why can't the commissioners up here get the information on how CIP has been funded for the last couple of years, the projects that have been funded, unfunded, and the future of it?
What I can tell you,
get the director's
Mr.
answer.
Chair, is that we are working on it, and we will get something to you as soon as possible.
That's not a suitable answer. November 7th. We're on December, what is this, 8th? The 8th. It's been a month. It's not the way that we should operate. It's not fair to the constituents, the residents of Miami-Dade County. Forget about whatever political issues anyone may have, because we have battles up here all the time. But it's not fair that if I'm speaking for Northwest State, I'm speaking as chairman of parks for every single one's parks up here, that I can't get that information. What is that saying about the administration?
Mr. Chairman, can I be recognized?
Mr. Coley?
Mr. Chairman, the final budget books have not been completed.
Listen, whoa, stop for a minute. Don't even go there. Just think about this for a minute. The final budget book has not been completed.
It's not been published.
No. Think about this for a minute. When did we vote on the budget?
September.
September. From September to December, we have not published any information for the public to see a final budget. Mr. Coley, it's completely unacceptable. No, I'm not going to recognize you, and I apologize for that, but it's not right. The state legislature that has a $130 million budget, billion-dollar budget, lays that budget on the table for the senators, for legislators to vote on, and gives them 3 days for a final budget. And we're going to tell me that you're going to give me an excuse from the administration that we cannot give this committee the information on park funding because we have not finished the budget? How are we running this county? How are we running this county? Please tell me.
Sir, the official budget is your budget ordinance. On the final night of the budget adoption, and the commission makes all of its decisions, then post that decision, all of those decisions have to be placed into an ordinance and recorded, and that is not done by the administration, and it takes a lot of time to get all of those details done.
Let's tell our state legislators that it takes a lot of time, because when we have a $130 billion budget that's put it on the desk and it's given 3 days to lay in a desk so we can look at it, and the county can't put a $13 billion budget in 3 months together? Mr. Coley, it's not imputing on you, but it's imputing on this administration. The fact that we can't get that, and the fact that the public doesn't have that information, it's not right. And all that I'm asking for is for some information on parks. And you're going to go tell me the budget's not done? It's completely unacceptable. Thank you, Madam Director. What's the date that I can have this information to this board?
Mr. Chair,
She's not able to give you a date. The information has to be compiled by multiple departments and reviewed. And
For CIP funding?
yeah, it has to go through the budget office, has to be made sure there's no errors and that everybody knows.
Wow.
What we've done today
Okay,
is,
Mr. Coley, then you tell me. She can't give me a date. Can you give me a date on behalf of the administration?
what I can tell you what we've done is we met.
No, I need to know when I can have that
I cannot
information.
provide you an exact date. It's not within my control to give you that date. I can tell you what we've done to date. To date, we've met with each member of this committee to identify their parks projects and what they're funded and what's not funded. And now we are meeting with the commission members that are not part of this committee to do the same thing.
I appreciate that. So you have to have the information. You're just telling me you're meeting with each commissioner individually. You know what? Instead of meeting with each commissioner individually, let's give that information to this committee so the public can see it.
Just as we met with you, sir.
So I recognize that, and I've said that every single time at the last. Remember when I was sitting up here at the last commission meeting? I did say that I met with the mayor. You know, but I've also asked him. Listen, Mr.
You've asked for much more than that.
Mr. Coley, I'm asking for the CIPP funding.
For years.
All right, you don't have that in the past?
Yes, but it's not readily available. It takes time to put it
Okay,
together.
listen, I would like the information to be at our desk by December 31st. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. And listen, we understand the frustration. I can tell you that I've had several meetings with them, and we've been going, like I said, park by park, and it takes a lot of time. I also know that you've met with them and I've met with them, but, you know, I don't know who else has met with them. So the other thing is, have all the commissioners, have you guys met with all the commissioners?
Each member of this committee, we've held private meetings with, and we're scheduled with each of the commissioners.
Okay, so you're
that
still
are not-
scheduled with other commissioners, right?
Listen,
So,
I'll tell you right now, this is not, Commissioner Regalado, without due respect, this is about the public information and transparency. Simple as that. I am glad that we're meeting with the commissioners. I have had conversations with the chairman, with the mayor. I've had conversations with the director, and I've had conversations with you, Mr. Coley. And I appreciate that. But the fact that we can't get information out to the public on 4 years of funding, on projects that have been slated, on projects that have been funded and not funded, and where the money has gone, it's not acceptable by any way of the means. Not complete, not acceptable. We all know that. So with that, hopefully by December 31st, we can have the information and we'll move forward from there. Now we are on item 3D.